a new building in the West Bergen neighborhood of Jersey City sits Next Door Provisions. Next Door Provisions is more than just a place to grab some food, but it has a real family atmosphere embodied by the flavors of Chef Ruby Felix, a veteran of the food scene in New York City and Jersey City, having worked at Tall Day, Carino Provisions, 30 Acres, and Mamafuku. Her and her husband, James Felix, decided to open Next Door Provisions, literally next door to their home.
So tell me about how you guys came about doing Next Door Provisions.
We'd like to say that this was an accidental restaurant. The origin is actually in the name of the restaurant. Next door is because we live next to the restaurant. And it's from getting to know the builders. One day we were just chatting. They were just making sure that our property was, in order, that the construction wasn't affecting the foundations. And from talking with the project manager, he's a foodie. And then so we started talking about food, and he learned that Ruby was a chef. So, we talked some more, and then it just so happened that they had a space available. And one of Ruby's dreams was to own a restaurant. We started talking some more, and, I gave him a little bit of Ruby's bio. They actually looked her up and saw that, wow, you have a pedigree of a chef living next to the property. And so, I gave them Ruby's contact, and then they reached out to her. And from there, the process started happening, and it was a long process. In the beginning, they wanted to have her work for them to start the restaurant, but it was going to be a cafe. I'll let Ruby explain why, she didn't want a cafe.
Only because of the vast connection of people that I have, like as chefs. I wanted to create a menu or impart like all these ingredients to the West Side community that we kind of are lacking in this area.
Yes.
And pretty much like the restaurants around here I love so much, but we don't have this kind of restaurant. We kind of want to impart to the community. So yeah, that's the gist of like why we started a restaurant in West Side. There's culture and a lot of artists and community that are around this area. It's like a very like diverse part of town that we kind of want to like say, hey, we're here too. We're part of Jersey City too. So
How long have you guys been in Jersey City?
24 years.
Wow.
And James has been here since
1982.
Wow, 1982.
yeah, so
You're an
he's the OG.
Yeah,
Yummy.
I was here before Newport was here.
Yes.
So,
yes.
I've seen the change happen when nobody wanted to live Newport.
Yeah.
And everybody was on this side, and then everybody just moved over to the, other side by the water. So, but yeah.
What is your favorite dish that you make here at?
So at the moment, it's Caracara Malfadini. So it's like my adventure to getting the right recipe because my grandmother had passed 2 years ago before we opened the restaurant. And this is our tribute to his grandfather and my grandmother. And I never had any time to sit down with her and like just like write down the recipe.
Yeah.
So every time I make this, it's kind of like getting in my grandmother's head. So it's like a thing that I've always, it's one of those huzzah moments. Like, oh, hey, I'm there. Like I created my grandmother's recipe. So that's my favorite thing on the menu. And also the grilled cheese, because grilled cheese is one of our staple dish in Next Door Provision, because to me it's such a simple dish, but it gives you a punch of flavor and also gives you comfort. It's not your typical grilled cheese. It's the story behind it is I have worked in this restaurant where there's a guy that always gives me grilled cheese at the end of the day because he's always like, he always sees me. It's like my grandfather, like it's like a grandfather to me, where he sees me like, oh, you're defeated today, let me make you a grilled cheese.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things that food that I creates memories, or I want to recreate it because it creates it gives me something inside.
I love that.
So yeah,
I really love that.
I'm just not creating something just because it's a journey to me.
What are your favorite places to eat in Jersey City?
My favorite place in Jersey City is Jayhan, which I could never recreate what they do. And then downtown, I love downtown Taqueria and Matthews.
Oh yeah.
Those are my go-to places downtown. And also, a hidden one is Grand Szechuan. Grand
Oh,
Szechuan.
Grand Szechuan. I know
Grand
they have
Szechuan
the
is
best, the best buns, the best
Also, like the soup dumplings.
soup dumplings. That's
Soup
what it
dumplings
was. Yes, soup
is
dumplings.
very good. Yeah.
Yes. Nice. What about you?
I love Violet's on this side of town. It's a
Violet's?
Yeah, it's a Jamaican restaurant.
Oh, is that the one on Mallory?
Yes, yeah,
Oh,
right,
I
yeah.
have
Definitely
not
give it a
eaten.
try. You know,
They're warm. They're
Yeah,
very warm
very-
people.
yes.
They're very nice people. So
I don't typically eat a lot of like meaty things, so I
Mhm.
always think that they only have like meaty things, but they might have. I love Jamaican beef patties. I'll have it.
yeah,
Yeah.
they definitely,
yeah.
you know, it's like it's a Violet's. It's actually the owner's grandmother's, name. So a lot of the food there, like the recipes are coming from the grandmother, and that's like we love it because they have a story. Like the food is just not something that you take for granted. There's history with the food they're sharing. It's more meaningful that way. For us, when we eat, sometimes a lot of it has to do with like the history of what's happening in there. Like they're doing something with tradition, something within the family, or also doing something new. That's what gets us in the door.
And what other areas? What other?
What area? We went up to the Heights 2 weeks ago. It was a Vietnamese restaurant.
Saigon Bistro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think,
up in the Heights.
Yeah, it's in
Yeah.
the Heights. So it's up there on Central Avenue.
Central
Um,
Avenue. It was the old noodle fan.
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly, yeah.
yes, yes,
and
yes.
and once in a while, we'll hit up Kikiriki.
Kikiriki.
Yeah,
Always standard.
yeah,
If you want chicken,
yeah.
versus
It's
their
their chicken is pretty good, and their garden rice is always, we enjoy it. So we try a lot of different places, just like anything homey, we're there.
There's such great food options now in most of the city that I feel like we are probably even better than New York City in terms of options of what you can get. And also the quality is really great because there's so much competition where you have to be good.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's
Because if
true.
you're not, you're going to close.
Exactly.
And-
100%. Yes.
And we always take it as a compliment when somebody from the city comes here to eat at the restaurant.
This is
That's
very true.
because usually we're the ones going to their
To the-
neighborhoods,
yes.
paying the toll,
Yes.
just to eat, but they're coming here, And we're building on this restaurant. We have this series called Sunday Supper, where we're bringing in every 2 weeks. We have a guest chef that comes in, and they bring in, their own style, their own cuisine. The space is not just for us; it's become like a stage for.
Where can people find out about these Sunday suppers?
On our
For the
Instagram.
most part, we announce it on Instagram,
Okay.
and we also send it out on our mailing email list. So and yeah, that's like I said, it's just to change the food game on this side of town.
Yeah, I agree. We need it. And now it's like you guys and the table,
Yeah,
and maybe
we're
soon
getting
there'll be
neighbors. Yeah,
Somebody
Yes.
else.
Yes,
But like,
We're here.
options.
We're here. We have parking, by
we
the
have
way.
parking.
Parking, woo!
Parking is a must.
Parking is a must. But it's great if you can make it, once food destinations start opening up, then it becomes a destination place and people actually do come from. Brooklyn is literally down the street.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is like the closest way to get to Brooklyn is through the west side of Jersey City on 440. So you can get here in a minute.
Yeah.
Cool.
And part of the restaurant is also like giving back to the community. That's why we're doing all of these Sunday suppers and introducing things around our area. And part of like also creating or curating a menu is looking through people's like who do I have in my community,
Right.
instead of just like creating something just for myself, but including them in every single thing that I do.
Right.
You know, so
I
yeah.
love that. I really love that.
You know, and just in general, also like a shout out to the developers, the people that own this building, Fields Grade. They made this happen. This like I said, this was an accidental restaurant. If they didn't like give us, you know, like the terms that they gave us made this happen. You know, and we're definitely like thankful for them. You know, we didn't expect it, but you know, they believed in her. So we're here.
Love it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.